My beloved child, come a little closer to me. Do not stand far away in the dimness of heavy thoughts. I know there are days when you look at yourself in the current of life and suddenly feel your heart tremble, not because disaster has already come, but because you realize that time is quietly passing like water beneath a bridge. You see your body changing, your strength no longer the same as before. The things once familiar now becoming distant, and you ask yourself, am I gradually losing something precious? But, my child, I want to place my hand upon your heart and speak to you with great tenderness. You are not losing yourself. You are being led into a deeper season of grace. Though our outward man is perishing, yet the inward man is being renewed day by day. The word in 2 Corinthians 4:16 is not meant for you to read in haste, but for you to lean upon like a peaceful shelter amid the winds of age. My child, time may touch your hair, your skin, your steps, and your breath, but it has no authority to rule over the soul I have kindled with love. Your body was formed from dust, and therefore it knows weariness, aging, and the need for rest, but your soul belongs to me. And what belongs to me is not measured by wrinkles, years, or seasons already gone by. Do not let the clock on the wall become a voice of judgment within your heart. Do not let the number of your years become chains binding you to fear. I do not call you by the number of years you have lived. I call you by the name I have engraved upon the palms of my hands. Isaiah 46:4 says, even to your old age, I am He. And that word is like a soft cloth with which I wipe away the confusion from your face whenever you think you have been left behind by time. At times, you may think age is evidence of decline, yet I see within it a sacred book being written with experience, tears, patience, and wisdom. Every mark upon you is not a sign of defeat, but a testimony of the valleys you have crossed while still believing. Every weariness is not an ending, but an invitation to learn to lean on me more deeply. When you are weak, I do not despise you. When you slow down, I do not leave you. When you can no longer do what you once did, I still open within you new ways to love, to pray, to forgive, and to shine. Did not Psalm 92:14 say that the righteous shall still bear fruit in old age? Do you see? My child, in my garden, there are trees that do not bloom most brightly in spring, but release their sweetest fragrance when evening falls. I want you to remember Simeon, a righteous and devout man who lived long in waiting. His years were advanced. His earthly eyes may have grown dim, yet the eyes of his spirit still burned with the promise I had given. People might have looked at him and thought that most of his life had already passed, but I knew that his greatest moment was still ahead. When the child Jesus was brought into the temple, Simeon held the Savior in his arms and spoke in peace, "My eyes have seen your salvation." As Luke 2:30 records, my beloved child, do you understand? There are blessings I reserve for youth, but there are also blessings that ripen only in the heart of one who has learned to wait. Time did not steal Simeon's calling. Time made the moment of meeting the Lord even more holy. Therefore, when your heart sways before change, do not quickly call it failure. Call it a bell inviting you back to the truth. You are loved not because you are strong, young, useful, or radiant in the eyes of the world. You are loved because you are my child. The world often worships outward appearance, runs after what is new, fears what slows down, and avoids the signs of aging. But my kingdom does not weigh you according to what is passing away. I look at your heart. I see the wounds that have become compassion, the losses that have taught you tenderness, the long nights that have deepened your prayers. Man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. 1 Samuel 16:7 reminds you, so that you may stop forcing yourself to live according to the cold mirror of the world. My child, fear of time often comes when you think your life is becoming shorter. But in me, each day is not a remaining portion being taken away. It is a fresh jar of oil placed into your hands. You do not need to cling to yesterday like someone afraid of losing treasure. For I am the one who was in your yesterday, who is present in your today, and who already waits for you in tomorrow. What you have gone through has not vanished. I gather it, purify it, and transform it into wisdom. What you have not yet had time to do has not been forgotten by me, if it belongs to my will. I will open the way at the proper time. Learn to walk slowly without shame, to rest without self-accusation, and to change without fear. For there are footsteps that slow down yet come closer to me, hands that tremble more yet pray more truly, and hearts that once broke but now can hold others with gentler mercy. I do not ask you to deny the reality of your body. When you are tired, rest. When you are in pain, care for yourself. When you need help, do not consider it humiliation. The humility that receives love is also a form of holiness. But I ask you not to turn the changes of the body into a sentence against the soul. You do not have to prove your worth through productivity, appearance, or the ability to run faster than yesterday. Your worth was sealed in my love before you even knew how to name your fear. When you lean upon me, the years no longer become something chasing you. They become the road leading you into maturity. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10 flows like a clear stream, calling you to stop wrestling with what you cannot keep forever and begin receiving what I am making new within you. So, my child, when you wake tomorrow morning and see that time has left one more small mark upon your life, smile with gratitude. Say to yourself, I am still being led by the Father. I still have light to give. I still have prayers to offer. I still have love to live out. Do not fear the autumn of your life, for I can turn golden leaves into songs, make the late afternoon radiant, and transform silence into the place where you hear my voice more clearly than ever. You do not pass through time alone. I go with you, before you, behind you, and within you. When the world says you are growing old, I say you are growing deeper. When your heart says everything is passing too quickly, I say my grace is still sufficient for you today. And when you tremble and ask me, Father, am I still lovable? I will hold you close and answer, you have always been lovable before me, not because of your age, but because you have belonged to me from everlasting. My beloved child, let me place my gentle hand upon the place where your heart is wavering. For I know there are days when you think your faith has grown weak, simply because your heart no longer feels as fervent as before. You imagine that when tears fall often, when the heart is heavy, and when prayer seems to echo into a silent space, perhaps faith has left you. But my child, faith is not a flame of emotion that flares up and dies with the wind. Nor is it a sweet feeling present only when everything is favorable. Faith is the anchor cast deep into me when the sea of your life is stormy. It is the footstep that still moves toward the light, even when the eyes have not yet seen dawn. It is the whispered, I still believe, from a trembling soul that refuses to let go of the Father's hand. My word has declared, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Hebrews 11:1. So do not measure your faith by changing emotions. Measure it by your endurance when you still choose to rely on me. There are moments when you look at your circumstances and see only closed doors, unclear paths, and answers that have not yet come. And your heart quietly asks, Father, are you still working? I hear that question. My beloved child, and I do not condemn you for having doubted. I know your frame was formed from dust, and I know your heart can grow weary beneath the weight of waiting. But I want you to learn a deep mystery. My silence does not mean my absence. And what appears to you as delay does not mean the promise has been forgotten. When a goldsmith refines gold, the fire may seem severe. Yet within that fire, impurities are separated so that true brilliance may appear. In the same way, during seasons when you do not yet see results, I am working in the deepest part of you, strengthening the roots of faith, softening pride, healing fears, and preparing you for what you would not yet be able to carry if it came too soon. Therefore, do not allow anxiety to sit upon the throne of your heart, and do not let fear become the guide of your decisions. Fear often shows you only the abyss, but faith helps you see my hand holding you above that abyss. Worry says, everything will collapse, but my word says you are kept in everlasting faithfulness. When your mind is filled with noise, return to my word as one returns to a clear spring. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Hebrews 13:5 is not a sentence meant to comfort you for a passing moment. It is the covenant I have placed over your life. Whether you are in the valley or on the mountain, whether you are strong or tender, whether you are singing or only able to sigh, I remain there. I am the one who has called you by name, and what I have promised, I will fulfill in a way wiser than anything you can imagine. Remember Abraham, my beloved child, the man who received the promise of descendants as numerous as the stars, while old age had already covered his body, and Sarah had passed the season of childbearing in human eyes. If he had looked only at his own ability, that promise would have seemed impossible. If he had listened only to the weariness of his body, he might have let go long before. But through the long distance of waiting, I taught him to believe, not because circumstances were favorable, but because the one who promised is faithful. He did not waver at the promise of God through unbelief, but was strengthened in faith. Romans 4:20. Do you see? My child, faith does not grow in the soil of ease. It grows when you still cling to me amid things not yet formed. When you still worship before seeing the outcome. When you still believe that I can bring life again to the things that seem dead in your hope. In the same way, every trial you are going through is not a sentence, but a sacred school where your soul is being made mature. I do not delight in seeing you in pain, but I can transform pain into a deeper meeting place between you and me. I did not create you to remain forever in the immaturity of fear, but to grow in peace, to become clear in your choices, steadfast in love, and tender in mercy. Stumbles teach you humility, delays teach you patience, losses teach you what is truly lasting. Tears open within you, a sanctuary you had never entered before. Therefore, do not despise the difficult season. It may not look beautiful to you now, but beneath my hand, even ashes can become a crown of grace. I want you to see trials with different eyes. Do not only ask, when will this end? But ask in humility, Father, what are you teaching me in this place? Do not only pray for the door to open, but pray that your heart will be bright enough when you step through that door. Do not only long for the circumstance to change, but allow me to renew you from within, so that even if the circumstance is not yet changed, it will not swallow you. My word reminds you, the testing of your faith produces patience. James 1:3. That patience is not hopeless resignation. It is the gentle strength of one who knows that the Father still reigns, that winter cannot forbid spring from coming, and that the long night cannot erase the sun. At times, you may think failure is a final period, but in my hands, failure can become a comma in a new story. Your stumbling does not mean you have been rejected. Your weariness does not mean you are useless. Your fear does not mean you lack faith. Look at Peter, who boldly declared that he would never leave the teacher, yet in the darkness of that night denied the Lord 3 times. If the story had ended in the courtyard of the high priest, he would have remained a man shattered by shame. But I am the one who does not abandon those who weep and turn back. The risen one met him by the shore, not crushing him with accusation, but asking him in love, "Do you love me?" And from a man who had fallen, Peter was restored to shepherd the sheep. My child, I can restore you in the same way. I do not see only the place where you fell. I see the mission still waiting to be awakened within you. So today, when you do not yet see the way out, keep holding on to me. When you do not yet feel strong, let my strength lift you. When your soul feels dry, read my promises again, as though planting seeds into the soil of your heart. Do not draw conclusions about your life in the middle of a stormy season. One difficult chapter is not the whole book, and one dark day cannot define the dawn I have prepared. You were created not to be ruled by fear, but to walk in the light of trust. I have placed within you a good plan, not a plan to destroy you, but to give you a future and a hope. As I have spoken, I know the thoughts that I think toward you, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope. Jeremiah 29:11. Therefore, let your faith today be more than words spoken in favorable times. Let it be surrender when you do not yet understand. Let your prayer be more than a request for help. Let it be the sound of you returning to the Father. Let every step, however small, become evidence that you still trust me more than you trust your fear. I am with you in this process. I do not abandon you in the fire of testing, nor do I let you sink in deep waters. If I allow you to pass through something, I also give enough grace for you to overcome it, and I will use the very place where you once hurt as a testimony of my healing. Be at peace. My beloved child, I have never left your story. I am still writing it with love, with faithfulness, and with a promise that never fades. You belong to me, and whoever belongs to me is never forgotten. Therefore, when attacks come from many sides, do not quickly think you have been abandoned. Darkness may be noisy, but it has no authority to cross the boundary I have set. Contrary winds may beat against the door of your house, but they cannot destroy a soul anchored in me. The enemy may try to exhaust you with one burden after another, with words that wound, with circumstances that shake your heart. But when you stand in my power, you stand in a place covered by grace. I protect you not only from visible dangers your eyes can recognize, but also from hidden schemes you have not yet had time to understand. I will give you wisdom to know when to speak and when to remain silent, when to move forward and when to hide yourself in prayer, when what you see is only the surface, and when a deeper movement is taking place in the spiritual realm. My child, your battle is not only found in what appears before your eyes. There are battles that begin with a thought that discourages you, a fear that steals your peace, a doubt that makes you want to let go of the promise. Therefore, you must guard your heart, for it is the wellspring of life. Do not let what has not yet happened rob you of today's peace. Do not allow what you cannot control to become chains around your mind. I do not require you to understand all my ways. I invite you to trust me step by step. As Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. When you do not know what to do, acknowledge me. When you do not know what tomorrow holds, acknowledge me. When you cannot open a door, acknowledge me. For I am the one who holds the keys to every season, every appointed time, and every way out. So, my beloved child, continue to walk. Do not let weakness make you ashamed. For where you are weak, my grace is revealed more fully. Do not let anxiety silence you. For precisely when you tremble, yet still pray, your faith becomes precious before me. Do not wait until you feel strong before you rise. Rise in me, and you will discover that strength has been given as you obey. Use prayer as a weapon of light. My word is a torch upon the path, and praise is a garment covering your soul from despair. I am fighting for you. I am protecting you. I am doing what you cannot do alone. And every step of faith is bringing you closer to the victory I have prepared. In the end, keep your heart in holy peace. Do not let the noise of circumstances become louder than my voice within you. Do not let fear paint your future in place of my promise. Pray, believe, declare, and move forward. For I am the one who goes before you to open the way, the one beside you to uphold you, and the one behind you to guard you from every unexpected arrow. What you do not see, I see. What you cannot reach, I touch. What you cannot change, I can transform in my beautiful time. Therefore, stand firm, my child. My power never weakens. My love never departs from you, and my victory will become the song upon your lips when this season of testing passes through the light of glory. There are things in your past that you once called loss, but in my hands, they were never wasted. Not one sincere tear of yours has fallen without my knowing. Not one long night when you wrestled with your own heart has passed while I turned my face away. The failures that once made you bow your head, the rejections that once caused you to question your worth, the roads you had to walk in, loneliness, all of these can be gathered by me and transformed into material for building within you a holy maturity. You once thought pain only broke you, but I say to you that when placed in my grace, certain things do not destroy you, they refine you. As gold must pass through fire to reveal its purity, your soul has learned what ease could never teach: how to trust, how to be patient, how to discern what is true from what is false, and how to love while still standing firm in truth. Therefore, do not continue looking behind you with eyes full of regret. The past no longer has permission to govern the voice within you. It may remind you of what you have passed through, but it has no right to define who you are. I am the one who gives you a new name, the one who calls you not according to old mistakes, old wounds, or the labels people once placed upon you. When Peter denied the teacher in the dark night, he thought his heart had failed so deeply that he was no longer worthy of the original calling. But after the resurrection, my son did not come to crush him with punishment. He came to him by the sea, kindled a fire, prepared a meal, and asked him with love, "Do you love me?" Then he entrusted the mission to him again: "Feed my sheep." Do you see? My child, I do not only forgive, I restore and send forth. The place where you once stumbled does not have to become the end. If you allow me to transform it into the place where you learn humility, faithfulness, and deeper love, as you enter this season, you will begin to see things you did not recognize before. Not because the world has suddenly become easier, but because I am giving you clarity to see through the mist of fear. There are opportunities that have long been near you, but because your heart was too tired and your eyes too wounded, you could not recognize them. There are people I placed around you to support you, but you once closed yourself off for fear of being hurt again. There are doors you thought had been shut forever, but in truth, I was holding them until the right time. Behold, I have set before you an open door, and no one can shut it. When my appointed time comes, What has been delayed will no longer be hindered. What you thought was far away will draw near in a way that makes you know it was not by your own strength, nor by human planning, but by my faithful hand. Yet, my beloved child, when I open new doors, I also want you to enter them with a renewed soul. Do not bring the old garment of inferiority into the place where I have prepared freedom for you. Do not step into a new blessing while still speaking to yourself with the voice of old fear. I am equipping you with wisdom, not so you may become proud, but so you may choose what is good, with strength, not so you may overpower others, but so you may endure in love, with spiritual sensitivity, not so you may exalt yourself, but so you may recognize my voice amid the many noises of life. Remember my word. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will guide you with my eye. You do not enter this season alone. I go before you to open the path, walk with you to uphold you, and stand behind you to protect the parts you cannot see. Then you will understand that the growth I have prepared for you is not merely the increase of outward things, but the expansion of your inner capacity. Before, a single criticism could shake you. Now I will teach you to stand firm in the identity you have in me. Before, a delay could make you think you had been forgotten. Now I will teach you to wait with trust. Before, a closed door could make you believe everything was over. Now I will teach you that sometimes my protection comes in the form of refusal. You will no longer live as one who merely reacts to circumstances, but as one led by the Holy Spirit. When your heart is anchored in me, the winds outside will no longer have enough authority to pull you out of the peace I have given. And my child, my glory will not stop only in your personal life. When you are renewed, the atmosphere around you will also begin to change. Your family may begin to sense gentleness in your words. Your friends may see a peace they cannot explain. Those who are weary may find in you a listening ear that does not judge, a hope that is not false, and a mercy that does not calculate. I do not call you to become perfect before you can help others. I call you to become real. One who has received mercy and therefore knows how to show mercy. One who has been lifted up and therefore knows how to bend down. We love because he first loved us. That love will be the fragrance that spreads from your life, quiet yet enduring, unshowy yet deep. Therefore, open your heart to what I am preparing. Do not shrink yourself with old phrases. I cannot. I am not worthy. That is too far away. You may be weak, but I am your strength. You may not yet know the whole road, but I am the shepherd of your soul. You may have failed before, but I am the one who makes all things new. The things that seem impossible will become possible when you no longer rely on the fragile power of yourself, but on the one who has spoken and keeps his word. With God, nothing will be impossible. Walk in obedience, one day at a time, one choice at a time, one prayer at a time. This season does not demand that you see the entire harvest on the very day you sow the seed. This season invites you to trust that the seed I have placed in your hand will sprout when it is planted in faith. Finally, my beloved child, lift your eyes and look ahead. The future is not a land of fear, but a field I am preparing for you to enter with me. What has passed will no longer be a chain, but a testimony. The places that once wounded you will no longer drain the life from you, but will remind you that I brought you out from there. The doors that open will not only bring opportunities to you, but will also create a stream of blessing flowing to those you love and to the souls I will bring near to you. Trust me, my child. I am causing you to grow, not so you may become farther from me, but so you may cooperate with me more deeply. I am giving you clarity, courage, and a healed heart, so that through you, many may find comfort. many may be encouraged, and many may recognize that darkness is not the final chapter. Step into this new season with a pure heart and steadfast hope. For I am with you, and wherever I am present, life will bloom.